तो जब तक स्टेज पे नहीं आ जाते हैं, प्लीज ऐसे ही क्लैप फॉर हिम। ग्रुप कैप्टन शुभांशु शुक्ला, एन एस्ट्रोनॉट, अ टेस्ट पायलट, और भारत का सिर ऊंचा करने वाले ग्रुप कैप्टन शुभांशु शुक्ला, जिनसे पूछा गया, जिन्होंने बताया कि सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा। ओके, सो ही इज कमिंग। भाई ठीक है, होता है, आपको भी इंतजार करना पड़ता है। तो देखिए, शुभांशु शुक्ला हमारे बीच आ रहे हैं। अब देखिए, आप भी तो इंतजार कराते अपने मम्मी पापा को स्कूल जाने के लिए। थोड़ा लेट लतीफी तो आपको भी होती है, हाँ क्यों नहीं? तो थोड़ा वेट कर लीजिए। एक्साइटेड है आप, मैं समझ सकती हूँ, और ये एक्साइटमेंट ऐसी ही बनी रहनी चाहिए। और ये क्विज जो कि हमने कई क्विज किए शुभांशु शुक्ला जी को लेकर, हमने आपसे बात की, समझा, आपने खुद बताया क्या एक्सपेरिमेंट्स उन्होंने किए हैं। साथ ही साथ आपने ये भी बताया कि वो कौन है, आपको क्या बनना है, एस्ट्रोनॉट क्यों बनना है। आप ही के बीच से ये आंसर्स आए हैं। और अब जो भी सवाल आपके मन में होंगे, बहुत ही शॉर्ट एंड क्रिस्प होने चाहिए। जैसा कि हमारे डायरेक्टर सर भी आपसे अभी रिक्वेस्ट कर रहे थे कि आपको मौका मिलेगा, आप उनसे सवाल ले सकेंगे, उनसे पूछ सकेंगे, और होपफुली क्या कुछ आपको उससे रिप्लाई मिलता है, आपको गाइडेंस मिलेगी, और उसके बाद आप जो भी आपको करना हो आप आगे कर सकते हैं। तो एक्साइटमेंट आपके और इसी एक्साइटमेंट के साथ आप अपनी अपनी सीट पर बैठ सकते हैं। साथ ही मैं एनबीटी इंडिया के डायरेक्टर युवराज मलिक को भी मंच पर बुलाना चाहूंगी और उनसे रिक्वेस्ट करूंगी इस सेशन की शुरुआत करें। और साथ ही हमारी टीम से भी रिक्वेस्ट है कि इंट्रोडक्टरी वीडियो शुभांशु जी का हमने क्रिएट किया है, बनाया है, उसे एक बार प्ले जरूर कर दे। थैंक यू।
Shubhanshu Shukla, known by his call sign Shucks, is an accomplished Indian Air Force officer, experimental test pilot, and astronaut. A Lucknow native, he began his aerospace journey after being selected for the National Defense Academy and was commissioned into the IAF in 2006, training on the MiG-21 Bison. His exceptional flying skills earned him a commendation and selection for the Fighter Combat Leader course at TACD. In 2018, he qualified as a test pilot from ASTE and later flew the F-16 during an exchange program at Edwards Air Force Base, USA. Chosen by ISRO in 2019 as a Gaganyaan Astronaut trainee, he completed training at Russia's Gagarin Cosmonaut Center. In 2024, he became the first Indian to conduct scientific research on the ISS as pilot of Axiom Mission 4. He is currently pursuing a master's at IISc and leading research on Martian regolith-based habitats. Astronaut Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla continues to contribute to India's defense and space programs as a symbol of excellence, innovation, and national pride.
और हम सेशन शुरू करें इसके पहले हम चाहेंगे चेयरमैन एनबीटी के प्रोफेसर मिलिंद मराठे जी को बुलाना, साथ ही प्रिंसिपल डीपीएस की वसंत कुंज से उनको भी हम बुलाना चाहते हैं, मिस दीप्ति वोहरा जी को और शुभांशु शुक्ला को फेलिसिटेट करें, सम्मानित करें और इसी के साथ फिर हम कार्यक्रम की शुरुआत करेंगे. Now I request NBT Director Yuvraj Malik ji to proceed with the session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. Am I audible? How's the Josh? मजा नहीं आया अभी. How's the Josh? How's the Josh? Good. So, it's a very special day. आज हमारे बीच हमारे खुद के सुपर हीरो हैं. अभी तक हमने दूसरे सुपर हीरो देखे हैं, आज हमारे खुद के सुपर हीरो हमारे बीच हैं. तालियों से उनका स्वागत करें. और आज के इस कार्यक्रम की दो खास बातें हैं. जिन लोगों ने सर का अभिनंदन किया, फेलिसिटेशन किया, वो दोनों टीचर हैं. तो टीचर कम्युनिटी के लिए भी बहुत प्राइड मोमेंट है कि शिक्षक साधारण नहीं होता. दे आर द हाईएस्ट पोजीशन इन द सोसाइटी. आप ग्रुप कैप्टन शुक्ला इंडियन एयरफोर्स के फाइटर पायलट हैं और उनमें भी जो बेस्ट पायलट हैं, जिनको हम टेस्ट पायलट बोलते हैं, जो एक से ज़्यादा अलग अलग फाइटर एयरक्राफ्ट्स को. आप प्लीज चुप हो जाइए. बेस्ट टेस्ट पायलट हैं और उसके बाद देश के वो एस्ट्रोनॉट हैं जो स्पेस में गए और हम सब के सपनों को वहाँ पर तिरंगे के साथ फहराया और वापस हमसे बात करने के लिए हमारे बीच है. सर, मोस्ट वेलकम टू यू. First, we will have a detailed presentation by sir on screen. Then I will have some question and discussions with him. Then he will have question from your side. And then after those questions, he will have photograph with each one of you, one by one, if you follow the discipline. If you follow the rules of the game, he will have photograph with every one of you. Okay? And also he will give autograph for each one of you. He has got a bookmark. So sir, the stage is all yours.
If you can hear me at the back, can you raise your hand? Last row? Fantastic. A very good afternoon to all of you. मैं बहुत एक्साइटेड था यहाँ आने के लिए, आपसे बात करने के लिए। अभी कोई 1 मिनट पहले तक जब इन्होंने कमिट नहीं किया था हमारे डायरेक्टर एनबीटी ने कि मुझे आप सबके साथ फ़ोटो खिंचानी है और सबको ऑटोग्राफ देना है, अब मैं यहाँ शाम तक हूँ। But I'm very happy to be here to see the energy. I go for various engagements, go for various events, but whichever event I go where there are children, the energy of the atmosphere, it is just totally different. And आप लोगों से मुझे energy मिलती है. It works in the opposite direction. It comes back to me. And I'm so happy to be here to look at all of you. And what I will do is I will share my journey with you. Are you excited to go to space? So I will take you to space with me. What I did, what I saw, I will try to show it to you. You know, and if at the beginning of the presentation you are not motivated enough to go to space, I promise you by the end of it you will be. So that is what my endeavor would be, you know. I'll stand. So I went to United States last August 2024 for training for Axiom 4 mission. And it has already been said and covered that my role was mission pilot for Axiom 4 mission. It is a lot of training. हम लोग 2020 से ट्रेनिंग कर रहे हैं. We went to Russia first, then we came back to India. हम इसरो के साथ ट्रेनिंग कर रहे थे. और उसके बाद 1 साल we were in US training for this mission. So it is not possible for me to compress everything, but I would like to show you this entire journey in 2 minutes to show कि क्या क्या हुआ इस पूरे 1 साल में. How, what did we do? Why did we go to space? And I also had my crew members. One of the astronauts was from Hungary, और एक दूसरे astronaut थे जो पोलैंड के थे. And then our commander was from United States. So let us have a look at this movie, and thereafter I will take you to several aspects of this mission which I found very interesting, and I'm sure that you will also find them very interesting.
When I think or feel about having the flag on my left shoulder, I just want Hungarian people to know that we did this. We were able to achieve this. And it completely doesn't matter for me who is in the suit. I am proud, but I just want them to be proud as well.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lift off.
For 3 nations, a new chapter in space takes flight. Godspeed, X4.
Welcome, Earthlings, from Great.
It's an amazing feeling to be in orbit for the first time. When I looked out through the window for the first time, the view was just stunning.
Wow, what a ride it was. But when the ride started, it was something. Like you getting pushed back into the seat. It was an amazing ride. And then suddenly, nothing. It was an amazing feeling.
We also wanted to thank you for, basically, thanks for everyone around the world, and every person, every team who made this beautiful day happen.
Grace crew, welcome aboard the International Space Station. Peggy, Welcome back. It's a great honor and privilege to have such a legendary astronaut on board with us. And Thibaut, Shooks, and Swab, congratulations on your first space flight.
Thank you to all participants. Station, we are now resuming operational audio communications.
I travel to space with the dreams of a billion hearts with me. I want them to live this journey with me because I feel that it is equally theirs as it is mine. Because I feel that this is truly the journey of an entire nation.
And look where we can go when we work together on common platform, common science, then sky is no longer the limit. We can explore space, we can explore science, we can explore technology and build new solutions for the future.
The X4 crew came here with a purpose and a really busy agenda. This was a great mission and we enjoyed it the most. So now we will return home and we will spread the word in our countries that these things are within our reach. These things are possible even for smaller countries like ours.
It's always great to work with a bunch of professionals, which you are, but it's even more special to work with folks that have become our friends even more deeply. Thank you.
Thank you to the Axiom 4 crew. And we have splashdown of the AX4 crew back on planet Earth.
Welcome home.
I think it's really important to have these examples of people to show the new young generation that actually there are no boundaries. Your dreams, your careers, and your lives have no limits. This is what you dream of, then you can pursue.
So in a very short time, I have showed you what my life was for the past one and a half years. First in US and thereafter on the International Space Station for 20 days. Ever since I've come back, there are a lot of questions that have been asked to me by children like you all over, and there are few of them which are to the tune, why do we go to space? Why do we need to go to space when we have so many issues that we have to solve on Earth? And I think, there are two big reasons which I have. One, essentially we are a very curious mind. We humans, if we don't have problems to solve, we create problems, and once we create them, then we try to solve them. And I think what happens when you go to space is you are trying to solve a very big problem, to sustain life in an environment where it should not exist. And when you do that, you come up with solutions for a lot of everyday, day-to-day life, which you did not even think was possible. Some examples: duct tape that you use, Velcro that we use, the power tools, the cordless power tools that we use are all gifts of spaceflight to humanity. GPS. We cannot drive anywhere without, looking at a mobile today. But it started because of a requirement that originated in space. So we do not know how it is going to help us, but it eventually finds a way to come back and serve us in ways which we don't even know right now. The other very interesting thing is, the perspective that you get when you travel out to space. You have never been there, you have never seen this view. To look at Earth from outside, standing outside and having a view of that is very strange. It gives you a very different feeling. And I have an analogy which I give. When we are children, all of you are going to school, right? So everybody in school, your home is your identity. Your parents, your siblings. When to other people, to other kids from different schools, your school is your identity. Now when you'll graduate, you'll go to colleges, your school will become your identity. When you leave your city, you go to some other city to work, your city will become your identity. Like I am from Lucknow, somebody may be from Delhi, different places from the country. And eventually when you start working and you leave your country and go to some other country, your country becomes your identity. Like my identity was India. I was representing India for last 1 year in the United States. And it is a very natural progression. You don't have to force yourself to think into this. And what happens very naturally as an extension when you travel outside the planet, the planet becomes your identity. It is not a particular place, it is not a particular city, it is not a particular region. You look at this entire planet as your home. And this feeling, it is very, very strong. And the second thing is, it is extremely beautiful to look at. No, I don't think that I have seen any sight that is more pleasing to the eyes. I will show you this video. This is the video of Earth. I was taking this video. We were crossing from South America over the Atlantic, going over Europe. And you would see I was doing this time lapse. And without me even knowing, there was an unexpected visitor, moon, which you will see in this video. Just have a look at this, of how beautiful these sights are. So we are over the Atlantic right now, and the green glow that you see, that is the curvature of the Earth, in the atmosphere. And now we are going to go over Europe, and that is the moon, which is setting in the background. You see things which you never thought, which you never imagined. It just changes the entire perspective that you have about your planet. Okay, let's jump into my mission. As I told you, I've been preparing for this mission since 2020. It is a lot of time, and you prepare a lot, you learn a lot. And reaching up to the mission, you feel very confident. I was quite confident that we have enough skills to execute this successfully. But what happens is when the mission actually happens, when the ignition happens, you saw the rocket launch, right, in the video? All of you saw that. Even you felt only the sound was powerful enough here. Now imagine how it feels when you're sitting on top and when the engines come on, the Falcon 9 engines when they come on. It is such a powerful event. Everything is shaking. Every bone in your body starts shaking, and you do not expect that kind of magnitude. I did not expect that kind of. So whatever my training was, I forgot everything in that moment. Sab gayab ho gaya. And I like to give this analogy, when you prepare for your exams or जब classroom में बैठते हैं और जब question paper सामने आता है, बिल्कुल वैसी feeling थी. It was just similar to that. But then you come back, your training kicks in and you get back to it. But it was an extremely powerful feeling or moment, because imagine, you're going from 0 kilometers per hour to, I don't know how many of you saw in the video, the speed was coming on the bottom right. Yeah, you're going to 28,000 kilometers per hour in about 8.5 minutes. And that is something that I had never seen before. Even though I have a background, I am a fighter pilot, I have the familiarity to this feeling, how it feels, the G-forces, the acceleration. But this was something else. The scale, the magnitude was totally different. And also there is a very big distinction. So what happens when this happens? There is a lot of force on your chest, and your lungs get compressed. You cannot breathe. You will not be able to breathe normally how we are sitting right now. So you have to breathe through your stomach. There is specific training for that, but you have to breathe through your stomach, and you can only exhale. You cannot inhale. All this is required. This is all part of the training. Why I'm highlighting this one aspect to just tell you of how complex this is. That is why it takes so much of time for training, for preparation, for you to reach there. Let's see. So there are 2 videos that I have. One of the videos is you getting G when you're flying the fighter aircraft. And the other one is the G that you get when you are sitting inside the space capsule. I don't think we have audio for this one, but you would see my face in some time. It'll get pushed back as if somebody is pushing it from front. You will see it squeezing. And you'll see my mouth opening, just my mouth opening, at certain intervals. This is me exhaling. Inhalation happens as a passive process. You just learn.
Breaking profile 7G target tracking for...
Okay, I think there is an issue. But what I wanted to highlight to you is this. Why do we do it differently? Why do we have a different... In the fighter cockpit, you get G from head to foot.
Breaking profile 7G target tracking for 15 seconds now. Start track. Missile your stick is live. Go for it now. 1, 2, 3, breathe. 1, 2, 3, breathe. 1, 2, 3, breathe. 1, 2, 3, breathe. 1, 2, strain hard, breathe. Maintain, maintain, very good, breathe. 1, 2, 3, breathe. 1, 2, 3, breathe. 1, 2, 3, offload, 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 continuous training, offload.
You saw both the videos? Which one do you think was more difficult, left or right? The right one, right? And when you are sitting in a fighter cockpit, you are experiencing G's as from head to toe, which is the right video. And how much was the G do you expect in the right one? Right one was 7G. And how much do you think was the left one? Any guesses? Left one was 8Gs. It was more than the right one. So this is what I'm trying to highlight. This is what happens when you just change the axis. Your body has more tolerance to this. And why it is required? Because in space flight, if you have some problem at a higher altitude and you abort, you will experience up to 18 to 20 Gs. And your body cannot take it in this axis. So these are small things that you have to keep in mind when you're preparing for these missions. But all this dynamism, you know, I've talked about the excitement of launch, how dynamic it is, how powerful it is. All that happens and you reach space. And when your engine cuts off, the second stage cuts off, suddenly there is a silence. Absolute silence, nothing. There is no force, no engine running, and you are floating in microgravity. And space, if it is two things, it is a lot of fun. You can do anything you want. Even if you are not a gymnast, you can do somersaults, you can do backflips, you can do whatever you want because you are floating in air. There is no restriction. But it is also very disorienting. Right now when you're sitting, if I was to ask you, where is up? Where is up? What is up? Everybody knows, right? Even if you close your eyes, you would know which is up, which is down. Even if you're doing a handstand, you would still know your legs are up because of the effort it takes. Because gravity is an ever-pervasive compass that is always guiding you. But in space, it's not a requirement. You don't know. Whether you're standing upright or you're upside down, there is no distinction in feeling. So the sense of direction goes. There is no up, there is no down, there is no left, there is no right. You have to have markers to orient you, to tell you what are these directions. And the other interesting thing is the concept of space changes, you know. We say we are three-dimensional beings, but we are not. This is if you take that as a ceiling or roof, the cloth that is there on top, then this is a three-dimensional space, but all of you are sitting on ground. Nobody is hanging onto the ceiling, right? Nobody is hanging onto the walls. But this is possible in space. So your concept, your orientation changes. I remember the first day I was in the International Space Station and I had to go across a module. And there was this NASA astronaut who had set up her experiment right in the center of the module and she was working on it. And I saw her and I thought, I have to go, but I can't go. So I sat down and I was waiting. And then this other NASA astronaut, she comes up to me and she says, Shuks, what are you doing? And I said that I need to go to the other side. And she says, why don't you go? And I look at her. She's right in the way. And this astronaut, she starts laughing. She holds my hand, she takes me to the ceiling and tells me, walk here. And from that point of time, I started walking on the ceiling or walking on the walls or just using that because your mind has to adapt to this new environment. It doesn't know. You are going from Earth. It is a very different environment. The next thing, okay, let me ask you a question first before I explain this concept. Do we have gravity in space or we don't have gravity in space? There are different camps here, okay? I will go with this one. We have gravity. We don't feel gravity because we are always falling around the Earth, okay? We are in a free fall. So everything is falling. The station is falling, I am falling, every equipment that is there inside this station, that is also falling. So nothing is falling relatively. But we are all falling around the Earth, so we don't feel gravity. So what happens when everything is falling, that nothing is going to fall relatively. So if I am holding this in space and I let it go, it will stay here. It will not fall relatively to me. But your mind doesn't know that. You are going from Earth. So in the initial few days, I remember that if I had to leave something, I would search for someone and I would ask them, can you please hold it for me for some time? And these are also first-time flyers, so they would also stand and hold it. हम तीनों खड़े हैं, float कर रहे हैं हवा में, and they are also holding it and while, working. It doesn't make sense at all. look at how comfortable you get after some days. You know, this is me trying to change the camera lens in microgravity. And see, nothing falls.
लेंस चेंज करना चलिए देखते हैं आप किसी भी चीज को निकाल के ऐसे ही छोड़ सकते हैं
So see, how many of you felt the minute I was leaving it कि अभी ये गिर जाएगा? You still get that feeling because you're looking at it from here, right? But after 7 or 8 days, you become really comfortable with this idea that you can let go of things. They are not going to fall. And then you are leaving things around and doing your experiments and everything is all right. The problem happens that you come back to Earth with this notion. And this concept doesn't work here on Earth. So I remember the first evening that I had come back, I was working on my laptop. I was replying to a lot of emails that had come. And instinctively, I closed the laptop, took it to the side, I left it. Very, very quick lesson learned. It doesn't work here, you know. It fell down. Fortunately, nothing happened. But what I also realized was this one aspect, which is a connection that I made that day. That your mind is a very powerful tool. I'm talking about a physical phenomena that gravity is not there in space and it is there on Earth, but your mind is making you believe into something else. But it is also true for anything that you want to believe, that you want to achieve, that you want to do. If you can convince it here in your mind, you will find a way. You will be able to do this. It all starts here. So the first step is for you to believe it in it so strongly that there is no other way. It has to be done. And it will be done. So that is the power of your mind. Cultivate it, nurture it, and I think it is going to help you a lot going forward. The other interesting thing is that there is no concept of weight in space. You know, there is no weight. It's only mass. And that is why we could build the station, because station is so huge. It is almost the size of a football field. That is how big International Space Station is. And each module was sent separately, and then astronauts have joined it together, you know, lifting equipment with their hand. Heaviest of equipment, it is possible to be carried by astronauts in space because of this property, that there is no weight in space. But you have to be careful because there is momentum. And this is a very interesting phenomenon which I would like to demonstrate. This was my commander, Dr. Peggy Whitson from United States. She is the most experienced American astronaut. She has spent for all decades, you know, we are starting our human space journey. I have spent 20 days in space. Our first astronaut, Wing Commander Rakesh Sharma, he spent 7 days in space. This lady, she has spent 695 days in space. That is the kind of experience she has. And we used to joke around that, saying that, you know, she breaks the record of some of the satellites that have been launched. That is the kind of stay that she has had. But look at what she is doing. She is moving a bag which is bigger than her size. It is a heavy bag. And look how easily she'll be able to move it. I will let you guess what is inside this bag, but it is a heavy bag.
Good amount of mass.
Okay. Move this bag, large bag. It's possible to move very large bags in space. You have to be very careful though, because you have to control the mass. So you don't move it too fast, because it can get away from you. What is it that we have in this bag anyway? It's incredibly large.
Oh, wow. The whole
See, I told you space is a lot of fun. You can have fun while doing science as well. So we came up with this idea of how to demonstrate this concept or idea, and I think it works well. But this is 250, 260 kgs of weight, and see how easily she was able to move it around because of this property that we have, that there is no concept of weight. When you reach space, your body also kind of rebels because it has never seen this environment, you know. You've always evolved in this environment of gravity. All the blood from your legs, it pulls up, it comes to your head, and your head becomes bigger. look at the image on the right. My head, it has swollen up from what it normally is. It is all because of all the fluid that is shifted up. Your heart slows down because it doesn't have to pump blood against gravity to your head. If it continues to pump at the same rate, it will be a lot of blood in your head. You don't feel hungry. You are floating in space. Everything inside your stomach is also floating. So you feel full. You don't really feel like eating. And the other interesting thing that happens is because there is no load on your spine, it decompresses. So you become taller in space. You grow in height. And this is a very interesting part that I say. Every time I say, there are friends, pointing to each other that you need to go to space. Somebody, I was also very excited. I also wanted to go to space for this. And I grew by about 6 to 7 centimeters in space. Yeah, 6, 7. Yeah, I know. I have a son, 6-year-old, who's going to be 7. But the sad part is about gaining height in space is that when you come back to Earth, you come back to your original height. So it's not a lasting change. Okay, so we have 6, 7. Now can we put it back and move on? Okay, so let's focus now. When you're sitting here on ground, on Earth right now, even when you don't realize it, you are exercising your muscles. When you get up, when you sit down, when you turn, when you walk, all the time because you're opposing the force of gravity. But when you go to space, there is no gravity, effective gravity. So you lose muscle very fast. In my 20 days of stay, I lost about 5 kgs of weight, out of which 4 kgs was pure muscle mass. That is how quickly the degradation or rapidly the muscles degrade. The other aspect is the psychological aspect. You are in a confined space. I showed you, it is beautiful to look at Earth, but also the reality that there is nothing outside. It is vacuum, there is no air. If the sun is falling on you, the temperature is plus 100 degrees Celsius. If sun is not falling on you, the temperature is minus 100 degrees Celsius. It is these extremes that you are playing in. And you are confined inside, working. There is no natural light that you can use for your body clock. So you are just, in this reality, you have to work for long periods of time. So you have to be really mentally strong to be able to do such things, which is what training does, and it prepares you. The major aspect of my mission was conducting science in space, which for the first time, Indian researchers were able to get their science done in microgravity and had the data back with them. So I performed 7 different experiments curated by Indian researchers, and we did science in space. And they were beautiful experiments, very thoughtfully curated with an intent in mind that India is also pursuing its own human space missions with mission Gaganyaan, Bharatiya Antariksh Station, and eventually landing on the moon. And what that does is, because the environment is so unique, so when you drop water in space, when you let go of water, it doesn't drop, it becomes a ball. Same happens with fire. When you light a fire, fire also becomes a ball. It doesn't burn like a flame that you see here on Earth. All this is different because the environment has changed. So this gives you a lot of different unique insights which allow you to find solutions to problems that you have here, not just the different perspective that you have. So I will just list a few. One of the experiments that I worked on was myogenesis, how to prevent muscle atrophy. And the scientists wanted to check certain supplements that would help us in preventing that. So this was one of the experiments that I did. Then we also grew cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria is a possible source of food as well as biomass. So we wanted to see, because it takes very less space, how effective this is to grow in microgravity. How many of you have heard about tardigrades? Okay, quite some of you, tardigrades. So tardigrades are very, very small organisms which are known to be extremophiles. They can survive these conditions that I have written, on the slide. So we wanted to study what makes them survive this. Can we use it for humans? Can we use it to enable long duration space flight, going to Mars, this time cycles that we are talking about. So that was also one of the experiments that we took with us. But more than all of this, what was the most interesting part for me was, how do you enable an experiment in space? Doing a simple experiment in the lab in your school, if you want to enable that in space, it is completely different. You have to think about so many things. Just one example, if you are standing at one particular place in space and you are breathing, because there is no gravity, there is no natural convection. Warm air is not light. Cold air is not heavy. So whatever you are breathing out, the warmer air, it will not go away on its own. And if you don't have proper ventilation in the modules, you will have a cloud of carbon dioxide around your head in some time. And you will be breathing in carbon dioxide and you will be exhaling carbon dioxide. So you have to create artificial ventilation. These are small, small things that you learn when you do experiments, when you enable them in space. So after all of this is done, it is time for you to come back now. Now you have gotten used to space, and now it is time for you to come back to Earth, and now Earth feels new. But first of all, I became so comfortable in space by my 18th day that I did not want to come back. I wanted to stay there. But when you start coming back in Earth, all that energy that you had gained, the 28,000 kilometers per hour, it has to be dissipated. And your atmosphere does that for you. And when it does that, it generates a lot of friction and a lot of heat. And there is a huge fireball around your capsule. And this fireball has temperatures of more than 4,000 degrees Fahrenheit. That is how hot it is. But more than that, this time when you're coming back and you feel the gravity, it hits you much harder. Because your body is not used to even 1G now. It has been in microgravity. So I remember very distinctly, and this was very interesting for me, that even when you try to open your eyes, you can feel the weight of your eyelids when you come back to Earth. But going up, you don't feel that because you are in this environment. And the second thing that happens is that your body has forgotten how to live in gravity. So you cannot, let's take an example, you cannot walk. However well you are feeling, however good you're feeling, you cannot walk because your body does not know how much effort it will take to stop you from falling. Every step that you'll take, gravity will try to pull you down, but you have to exercise your muscles, and your body has forgotten how much effort it takes. So look at this video. This is me 4.5 hours after the splashdown. And when I just splashed down, my situation was much worse. I'm just trying to walk in a straight line here. All your balance mechanism, in your inner ear that is there, your muscles, you absolutely lose all sorts of coordination. The longer you stay, the longer it takes for you to come back to normal. It took me about a week, 7 to 8 days, to start doing normal things without supervision. The doctors cleared me after 7 days that, okay, now you can go alone and do things alone. That is the kind of time it takes. Okay, I am towards the end of this, but sharing my journey is one part of it. Doing this mission is one part of it. We went to space. I went to space representing all of you, and I came back. What now? Where do we go from here? I can very proudly and happily tell you that we are already on our path of human space missions. Astronaut as a profession did not exist in India before 2019. We did not have a human space program. We do have it now. Mission Gaganyaan, we will launch someone to space and bring them back. And simultaneously, we are also working on our own space station, Bharati Antariksh Station. And then eventually, by 2040, landing on the moon. Now, who do you think will be a part of all these missions? All of you who are sitting here in this audience, right? I don't know how many of you believe it or think about it, but it is very likely that a boy or a girl sitting in this audience may be the first one to set their foot on the moon one day, representing India. So please believe it. The first step is for you to think that you can reach there, and that is what is most important. Okay, don't get impatient. Last slide. Promise. Look at this. You'll enjoy this. The most asked question that I have got, the most frequently asked question that I have received ever since I've come back. is the same question that was asked to Wing Commander Rakesh Sharma when he went in 1984 to space. ऊपर से भारत कैसा दिखता है? You know, and I cannot match the answer that he gave. I think he was so spontaneous, and that moment has been captured in history and etched, and in all of our memories. He said, "Sare jahan se acha." So I don't know. Don't have a better answer than that. I cannot say anything to top that. But what I can do is I can show you how does India look from space. Okay? So let us have a look at how does India look from space. It will be a very dark video. It is a night video. We are coming from the Indian Ocean side, from the southwest to northeast. We will cross India. The green glow that you see, that is the curvature of the earth, like in last video. And you will also see flashes, purple flashes on the earth. These are thunderstorms, the lightning that is happening on earth. And then we will pass over India. You will see Bangalore. I will point out cities like Bangalore, Hyderabad, Pune. New Delhi also we'll see, but it is in a distance. You know, we are going in that trajectory. And then you will see Himalayas, which are very dark. And eventually you will see how a sunrise looks in orbit, you know, and it happens 16 times a day. So let us have a look at this video. Can you click it, please? Yeah, IT team, can you play this, please, from your side? Let us see if it is in our fortune to see how India looks from space today or not. I'm not touching it. That's good. Okay, so let us do one thing. Let us continue the session. So I would like to finish my talk, and we will continue the session afterwards. You know, I will show you this video before leaving. I promise. You know, we'll figure it out. But I would like to tell each and every one of you, and end this talk by saying what I said to you from orbit. Sky is not the limit. Not for me, not for you, and not for Bharat. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. अब मैं उन बच्चों के मन में जो चल रहा है उनके बिहाफ पे पहले आपसे कुछ सवाल करूंगा और उसके बाद बच्चे आपसे खुद सवाल करेंगे. आपकी पूरी जर्नी देख के मुझे एक याद आती है डॉक्टर कलाम साहब की. He used to say, सपने वो होते हैं जो आप खुली आंखों से देखते हैं. सपने वो नहीं होते जो आप सोते हुए देखते हैं, वो ख्याल होते हैं. और सपने वो होते हैं जो आपको सोने नहीं देते. तो आपने एक ऐसा सपना देखा. आप लखनऊ से आते हैं. बहुत से बच्चे आपसे अपनी लाइफ रिलेट करेंगे. आप एनडीए गए, आप फाइटर पायलट बने, उसमें बेस्ट पायलट बने, फिर टेस्ट पायलट बने और टेस्ट पायलट बन के आप 140 करोड़ लोगों को रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं. तो इस जर्नी के बारे में थोड़ा बताइए. इतने बड़े सपने आपने खुली आंखों से कैसे देखे?
जी, बहुत ऑनेस्टली अगर बताऊं तो आई नेवर थॉट, मैंने कभी सोचा नहीं था कि आई वुड बिकम एन एस्ट्रोनॉट. और आई डोंट थिंक दैट इट वाज अ पॉसिबिलिटी. कभी ये मन में आया ही नहीं, क्योंकि हमारा ह्यूमन स्पेस प्रोग्राम ही नहीं था. हमारे पहले एस्ट्रोनॉट विंग कमांडर राकेश शर्मा, ही वेंट इन 1984. I wasn't even there. 1985 I was born. So, but हम बड़े हुए उनकी कहानियाँ सुनते हुए और सब कुछ देखते हुए, but ये ख्याल नहीं आया कभी मन में कि आप एस्ट्रोनॉट बन सकते हैं. So I think for me what has worked is a series of yes. You know, at every opportunity, at every place, whenever there was a new opportunity that was presented, I had a tendency to say yes to it. So I have said yes many times in my life, which brought me to the place wherein, you know, when the selection happened, I was at the right place at the right time to apply for it. And then, you know, I've already shared of how it happened from there to this place.
But I want these young generation to know कि आप फाइटर पायलट हैं, आप टेस्ट पायलट भी हैं. अचानक से ये कहाँ से आता है स्ट्राइकिंग मोमेंट कि अब कुछ और बड़ा करना है? बिकॉज आसमान तो आपने छू लिया. आसमान से बाहर जाने की जो जद्दोजहद है, जो फायर है टू क्रॉस द स्काई.
अब मुझे लगता है कुछ भी नया, दिस वाज अ न्यू थिंग टू डू, राइट? किसी ने किया नहीं था, ये पहली बार हो रहा था. एंड so I think this is what excites me. This is what excites, I think, everyone. हम सबको कुछ नया या एनीथिंग दैट वी वांट टू नो और वी वांट टू डू, इट एक्साइट्स अस. बट कई बार क्या होता है कि वो एक्साइटमेंट को हम दबा देते हैं बाय थिंकिंग अबाउट द प्रैक्टिकल things going on around us, by thinking about rational things going on around us. So my solution, my mantra is that before that practicality or before that rationalism उसको दबा सके, आप पहले हाँ बोल दीजिए. Go into it and later on figure it out. So I think that is what
पड़ेगा पहले उतरना
absolutely
पड़ेगा.
So you will have to be courageous enough to say yes to things even when you don't know how they are going to work out. And I think that is what gets you places which you have never been before.
मैं आपको बताना चाहूँगा आपका सिलेक्शन इस मिशन के लिए 19 में हुआ, 20 में आपकी ट्रेनिंग शुरू हुई और आपकी फ्लाइट टेक ऑफ की 25 में. तो 5 साल का ट्रेनिंग एक सिंगल प्रोजेक्ट पे आपने किया, एंड टू एंड उसकी तैयारी की. जब मोमेंट आने वाला था कि आप टेक ऑफ कर रहे हैं, वो आपका 18 डेज़ का आइसोलेशन था, बट वो 32 डेज चला. ये जो कंप्लीट ट्रेनिंग पीरियड है, ये बच्चों की लाइफ में आता है कि किसी को IIT में जाना है, किसी को मेडिकल की तैयारी करनी है, किसी को सिविल सर्विसेज करना है. ये जो जर्नी होती है 4-5 साल की, उसमें माइंडसेट क्या चाहिए होता है. बच्चे पूछ रहे हैं आपके माइंड में क्या चल रहा था उस फेज में ट्रेनिंग में.
हाँ, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है आई थिंक कि आज हमारा पूरा देश, पूरी कंट्री, वी आर सेलिब्रेटिंग दिस मिशन. नो, मैं आपसे बात कर रहा हूँ, आप मेरी बात सुन रहे हैं. आफ्टर दिस मिशन इज हैपेंड 18 डेज 20 डेज जो मैं स्पेस में था. बट वॉट यू आर हाईलाइटिंग इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट. फॉर दीज 20 डेज आई हैव टेकन 5 years. 5 साल लगे मुझे ये 20 दिन के लिए. ऐसे ही इट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर यू टू गो थ्रू द मंडेन टू गेट टू द एक्साइटिंग. वो काम करना बहुत ज़रूरी है. और जब आप वो मंडेन कर रहे होते हैं ना, तब नहीं पता होता कि एक्साइटिंग होगा भी कि नहीं होगा. 5 साल में होगा, 10 साल में होगा, 15 साल में होगा, वी डोंट नो. सो द आइडिया शुड बी दैट व्हेन यू आर डूइंग द मंडेन, you should enjoy it. You should not be doing it for the exciting. When I got into this in the training program, when the selection started, हमें नहीं मालूम था selection होगा कि नहीं होगा, बहुत सारे लोग थे. But my thought process was that since they were selecting from test pilots, I was also a test pilot, and there are not a lot of test pilots in the Indian Air Force. My thought process was कि कोई भी select हो, कोई भी जाए, मैं उनको personally जानता हूँगा. I would know them, and I was happy by that. And then eventually when we got selected, just getting to go to Russia for training, just getting to be a part of this journey was exciting itself for me. So I think आप जो भी कर रहे हैं, जिस चीज़ की भी तैयारी कर रहे हैं या जो आप करना चाहते हैं, enjoy the process. When you enjoy the process, you will not feel burdened, you will not feel pressured कि ये होगा या नहीं होगा. So don't worry about it, just do what you're doing right now and just try to enjoy that. That's it.
तो ट्रेनिंग के बाद एक मोमेंट आता है कि आपका जो यहाँ पे तो कार होती है, ट्रेन होती है, वहाँ पे आपका फ्लाइट खड़ा हुआ है जिसमें बैठ के जिस कैप्सूल में आपको जाना है. वो जो एक मोमेंट होता है, आप अपने ऑफिस कैबिन आइसोलेशन बेस से आप बाहर आते हैं और उस एयरक्राफ्ट की तरफ देखते हैं, उस कैप्सूल की तरफ जिसमें आपको जाना है. वो जो 8-10 मिनट होते हैं, उसमें आपको एक बहुत अच्छी अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलती है आपके पूरे टीम को. और मैं चाहता हूँ कि बच्चों को जाना चाहिए. उस 8 मिनट में आपको एक मौका मिलता है कि यू कैन हैव सॉन्ग ऑफ योर लाइफ. आप अपनी पसंद का कोई गीत सुनने का मौका मिलता है. ये प्रिविलेज होता है उन 8 मिनट्स में. 4 क्रू मेंबर सबको मिलता है. तो व्हाट वाज योर चॉइस दैट यू आर सेइंग लिसनिंग?
सी वो ये बिग टिकट इवेंट्स हैं जिनको मैं बोलता हूँ लाइफ में. जैसे आपका एग्ज़ाम है कल, आप एग्ज़ाम की तैयारी करते हैं, या फिर आपका कोई गेम है, बहुत हाई स्टेक गेम है कल, या कोई इवेंट है. नर्वसनेस तो होती है, एंक्शियसनेस तो होती है थोड़ी बहुत. और अगर आप नर्वस हैं या अगर आप एंक्शियस हैं, तो आपको जितना आता है आप उतना भी नहीं कर पाएंगे. यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू गिव योर बेस्ट इफ़ यू आर स्केर्ड, इफ़ यू आर वरीड, इफ़ यू आर एंक्शियस. सो यू हैव टू प्रिपेयर योर सेल्फ, यू हैव टू गेट इन द जोन, यू हैव टू बी इन दैट जोन. सो मेरे लिए देर इज़ अ सॉन्ग दैट आई लिसन टू जब भी कभी ऐसा होता है, और मैं रिपीट पे उसको सुनता रहता हूँ, विच गेट्स मी देयर, विच आपको पंप अप करता है, आपकी एनर्जी बढ़ाता है. तो मेरे लिए वो जो सॉन्ग है फाइटर मूवी का, द वंदे मातरम सॉन्ग विच इज़ देयर, वो मैं सुनता हूँ और वो मुझे बहुत बहुत पसंद है. एंड इट जस्ट अप्स माई एनर्जी एंड इट जस्ट ब्रिंग मी द जोन. सो आप जो बता रहे हैं, वो जो सीन होता है कि SpaceX अपनी व्हीकल में, अपनी टेस्ला में आपको लेके जाता है फ्रॉम द गेट ऑफ जॉनसन स्पेस सेंटर टू द रॉकेट. और वो हमारा लॉन्च वॉज नाइट 2:31 AM पे लॉन्च था. इट वॉज अ नाइट लॉन्च. सो वो गाना बज रहा था, वंदे मातरम सॉन्ग वॉज प्लेइंग, फुल म्यूजिक, फुल वॉल्यूम पे इट वॉज बीइंग प्लेड इन द कार. और सडनली वो टर्न लेके कार एक स्ट्रेट स्ट्रेच पे आती है, जब आपको पहली बार आपका रॉकेट दिखाई देता है जो दूर खड़ा हुआ है 2 किलोमीटर दूर आपसे. and you know that you are going to sit in that and go to space on that. So I think it was a very, very special feeling for me when playing this song.
बिल्कुल वैसे भी ये वंदे मातरम का 150 इयर्स चल रहा है, तो इट्स सच ए कोइंसिडेंस दैट वी आर सेलिब्रेटिंग वंदे मातरम 150. ट्रेनिंग पीरियड का सबसे मुश्किल पार्ट, जब ट्रेनिंग पूरी हो गई आपकी तो आपको आइसोलेट कर दिया जाता है, आप किसी से भी नहीं मिल सकते, विच इंक्लूड योर ओन फैमिली. यू कैन टच देम, यू कैन गेट देम क्लोज, यू कैन नॉट गेट क्लोजर टू इट. वो 8 मिनट और 8 मीटर की दूरी मुझे लगता है आप ज़िंदगी में कभी नहीं भूलेंगे. सो 8 मिनट आपको मिले वहाँ तक जाने में, और 8 मीटर आपको लोगों से दूर रहना है. सो हाउ पेनफुल इज़ दैट? बिकॉज मुझे लगता है ट्रेनिंग में सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट चीज़ वही रहा होगा, 8 मीटर.
इट इज़ डिफ़िकल्ट, इट इज़ चैलेंजिंग, और ये केवल आपके लिए मुश्किल नहीं होता है, ये आपके परिवार वालों के लिए भी मुश्किल होता है. और ये मैं बच्चों के लिए भी, आप सबको भी ये चीज़ बोलूँगा कि आपको चाहे लगे या ना लगे, लेकिन आपकी जो फैमिली है, आपके जो फ्रेंड्स हैं, आपके लिए बहुत करते हैं. दे डू अ लॉट फॉर यू, इवन वेदर यू सी इट और यू डोंट सी इट. एंड एक्नॉलेज करना बहुत ज़रूरी है, क्योंकि आप बड़े होंगे, आपको ये समझ में आएगा एक टाइम पे कि आप कोई भी चीज़ अकेले नहीं करते. जैसे मेरा ये मिशन है, आई हैव नॉट डन दिस अलोन. देयर इज़ अ ह्यूज टीम दैट वाज बिहाइंड मी हु हैज़ मेड इट हैपन, एंड माई फैमिली, माई फ्रेंड्स, ऑल ऑफ देम वर टुगेदर इन दिस. विदाउट देयर सपोर्ट दिस वॉज नॉट पॉसिबल. सो हाँ, 8 मीटर की दूरी रहती थी, हम लोग 32 डेज क्वारंटीन में थे, एंड यू कुड नॉट मीट देम, यू कुड नॉट सी देम, and then eventually you go to space for another 3 weeks. So it is a long time, it is difficult, not just for you, but for the family as well. So I think everybody has to be strong in this entire thing together.
बिल्कुल. बच्चों ने, आपने देखा, वीडियो डॉक्यूमेंट में देखा, आपने फ्लाइट टेक ऑफ भी किया, आप पहुंच भी गए, वो जर्नी हमने देखी कैसे आपने उसको अपने आप को ट्रेन किया. बट वहाँ जाके आपको क्या चेंजेस फील हुए साइकोलॉजिकली, इमोशनली, और क्या परसेप्शन चेंज हुआ आपका ऊपर जाने के बाद? बिकॉज जैसा आपके इंटरव्यूज़ में भी आया और आपने लिखा भी, बोला भी कई बार ये बात कि काफ़ी कुछ बदल गया. आपका IQ तो ठीक है, वही रहता है, ज़्यादा बदलता नहीं है, लेकिन आपका इमोशनल क्वेश्चन, आपका स्पिरिचुअलिटी क्वेश्चन और आपने टेक्निकल क्वेश्चन, परसेप्शन चेंज होने लगता है. व्हाट वाज द वन बिगेस्ट चेंज दैट यू फेल्ट व्हाइल गोइंग फ्रॉम अर्थ टू स्पेस?
सी, बहुत सारे चेंजेस होते हैं, बहुत सारे बदलाव होते हैं, लेकिन कुछ इंटरेस्टिंग चीज़ें होती हैं. क्योंकि यहाँ बच्चे बैठे हैं, तो पहले मैं उनके बारे में आपको बताता हूँ. आप सुबह उठते हैं, सुबह उठ के ब्रश करना, इट इज़ वेरी डिफरेंट इन स्पेस. सो देर इज़ नो वॉश बेसिन वेर इन यू कैन स्पिट, सो यू हैव टू swallow. So it is not very glamorous, but it is the truth. That is how you start. आप वॉशरूम जाते हैं, आप बाथरूम जाते हैं, these are very technical problems, these are very complex problems. इंजीनियरिंग सोल्यूशन चाहिए इस चीज़ के लिए. बट बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग चीज़ क्या है कि अभी तो हम जाके टॉयलेट सीट पे बैठते हैं. अब स्पेस में आप चाहे सीधे बैठे, चाहे उल्टा बैठे, डजेंट मैटर. You can be hanging upside down from the ceiling and still go to the washroom. It is possible. But the unique environment, when you start working on the solutions, that is the time you realize ki how complex and challenging it becomes to even enable the smallest of the thing. बट पर्सपेक्टिव की अगर आप बात करें तो सिंपल पर्सपेक्टिव जो ये है, वो ये ऊपर से आपको ये दिखता है कि एक तो अर्थ, when you look at it from the outside, it looks at one planet. There is no border, there is no distinction that you see. It feels as home. This is your home. You don't look at India, you don't look at Lucknow, and you don't look at Delhi to say कि मैं यहाँ रहता हूँ. You look at Earth and you say कि मैं यहाँ रहता हूँ, इस planet पे रहता हूँ. So that feeling is very, very strong. And second, it is massive. इतनी बड़ी है अर्थ, इतना हम, और when you look at it, और आप जब खुद को देखते हैं उसके साइज में, so just this feeling of insignificance, that you get. And Earth looks so big when you are around the Earth, but Earth is not the biggest planet in our solar system. Our solar system is not the biggest solar system in our galaxy. Our galaxy is not the biggest galaxy. So as an extension, you can keep going on. So the insignificance of how we sometimes feel that we are very big in our own selves, I think that loses all its meaning. It just loses meaning.
यहाँ पे कितनी गर्ल्स हैं? रेज योर हैंड गर्ल्स. ये सवाल आपके लिए है, बहुत ध्यान से सुनिएगा, ये सवाल आपके लिए है. आपने प्रेजेंटेशन में बताया दैट योर फ्लाइट कमांडर वाज अ वुमन एंड शी हैड एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ अराउंड 700 days of flying. What makes girl and women so special that बाकी दुनिया दिनों में गिनती है, वो महीनों और सालों में वहाँ हैं. गर्ल्स को क्या खास बेनिफिट है, या उसकी ट्रेनिंग है, या मेंटल फ्रेमवर्क है जिसमें दिस फाउंड टू बी द शी इज द मोस्ट एक्सपीरियंस एस्ट्रोनॉट एवर ऑल अराउंड इन दिस अर्थ नाउ?
So I would respond to it by telling you two things. You know, one is a technical answer. There are certain advantages biologically that women have for long duration space flight. It's a fact, which is going to be utilized, you know, as we go into the long duration space flight. But अगर आप पेगी विटसन का एग्जाम्पल लेंगे तो मैं आप सबको बताना चाहूँगा जितने भी बच्चे यहाँ बैठे हुए हैं. Dr. Peggy Whitson, who is the most experienced American astronaut today, male or female, सबसे ज़्यादा experience है उनके पास US में. She was rejected 9 times before she became an astronaut.
Sir, repeat it again.
She was rejected 9 times before she became an astronaut.
The most experienced astronaut on Earth was rejected 9 times before she became an astronaut.
So this is the power of persistence. This is the power of belief. This is the power of never giving up. And this is only thing that I have learned in life. मुझे नहीं पता कि कौन सा रास्ता आपको सक्सेस के पास लेके जाएगा. I don't know. I don't think anybody knows. किसी को नहीं पता. But one thing that I can tell you, that if you decide that you will never give up, you will succeed. Which form, which place, I don't know. But you will succeed. So that is the only mantra, never ever give up.
तो आपने सुना और अब मैं उम्मीद करूंगा कि आपके बाद अगला एस्ट्रोनॉट जब गगनयान जाए आपके साथ कोई लेडी एस्ट्रोनॉट भी जाए.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल ज़रूर.
और हो सकता है वो यहाँ पे हो. बच्चों ने बहुत से सवाल दिए. आप कहीं भी सो सकते हैं, छत पे छिपकली की तरह सो सकते हैं, आप खिड़की में स्पाइडरमैन की तरह सो सकते हैं. तो हाउ डिड यू प्रेफर टू स्लीप, फ्लोटिंग इन द एयर और स्टिकिंग टू सम पर्टिकुलर प्लेस?
You don't sleep on anything. You know, in space आप किसी चीज़ के ऊपर नहीं सो सकते because you are in air. आप हवा में हैं. तो you have to get inside a sleeping bag. There is a sleeping bag. आप उसके अंदर जाते हैं. And then you have to tie your sleeping bag to something. Because if you don't tie yourself, अगर आप अपने आप को नहीं बांधेंगे तो आप रात में यहाँ पे सोएंगे और सुबह कहीं और, you know, you'll be found somewhere else. So it is important for you to be secured to some place. It can be ceiling, it can be wall, it can be floor. So I used to change positions every day. You know, one day I am sleeping under the seat, another day I am sleeping tied to the wall, one day to the ceiling. It doesn't matter because you are sleeping in air. But the difference what happens, I remember very distinctly. You know, आप 18 दिन 20 दिन स्पेस में सोने के बाद जब मैं वापस आया अपने घर पे, so we select these mattresses, right? Memory foam and, you know, deeply cushioned mattress, and जो बहुत comfortable हम सेलेक्ट करते हैं अपने लिए. एंड आई रिमेंबर पहली रात में जब मैं उस पर सोया तो मुझे इतना हार्ड लगा वो मैट्रेस. आई फेल्ट सो हार्ड स्लीपिंग ऑन दैट मैट्रेस विच आई केयरफुली चोजन फॉर माई सेल्फ. सो बिकॉज यू वर स्लीपिंग इन एयर, यू वर नॉट स्लीपिंग ऑन एनीथिंग. दैट इज द डिस्टिंक्शन दैट यू हैव.
Great. So now I have a lot of questions which our students have sent. I would like to repeat. How do you stay focused on your goals and minimize distraction around us? How do you minimize distraction?
Minimize distraction. I think it is a very persistent problem, a very pertinent problem, I would say, not persistent. How many children, if I have to ask you this question, how many kids really feel that they spend too much time on their mobiles? Chalo, that is a very, very good sign. You know, at least आपको पता है problem क्या है. ठीक है, the first step is done. Now what the next step is, don't give up on mobile. Mobile is a very powerful tool, right? Use it in the right way. आप उसी को change कर दो कि आप उसको use कैसे करते हो. That is all that you can do. Distraction is pertinent. I will tell you one thing that we did. You know, every time you go to space, you carry with you a toy. आप लोगों ने में से कितनों ने देखा, there was a small toy. क्या था वो? What was it? It was not a teddy bear. No. Anybody else? Swan. It was a swan. Swan or duck, you know, you cannot make out whether it is a duck or swan, but it was a swan. And swan was chosen very carefully because swan has meanings in cultures of Poland, Hungary and India as well. But आप में से कितनों को पता है कि swan हमारे culture में what does it mean? क्या है swan? Peace. किस भगवान का vehicle है? Saraswati. And Saraswati is goddess of? So swan is known to have the capability to separate milk and water, right? It is said, folklore hai, kahani hai, symbolism. It may or may not have, it doesn't matter. But I am saying it is symbolism. And what that means is, it teaches you the importance of discernment in the age of distraction. How important it is for you to focus on the right things. एनर्जी बहुत है आपके पास, बच्चों के पास एनर्जी बहुत है, टैलेंट बहुत है. आप उसको सही डायरेक्शन में लगाइए और पूरी तरह से लगाइए. Just know what to focus on, where to go. I think that is the most important that you can do. Thank you.
What is one quality, quick answer, that you need to develop in yourself to be an astronaut?
Just one answer, one word answer. I rate this highest above all qualities. It is resilience.
Never give up.
Never give up. How to come back from success, how to come back from failure. Resilience is the most important quality that you can cultivate, period.
What was the most difficult thing that you had in space? One most difficult task?
Most difficult was this experiment that you said, the myogenesis one. Because for this, I had to be in one place, one location for about 4.5 hours. I could not move. And I had to continue doing that task. So I found that very challenging.
What was the most fascinating sight and moment when you had in space?
India from space.
Oh. Looking at your country and motherland from space is a divine experience. So now we'll take questions from our young audience. Our volunteers, please get the mobile, this cordless mic. Yeah, cordless mic. Yeah, please get up. Quick question.
Yeah. So how do you tackle fear when failure is not an option, and when you're representing India in space, and when you're exploring a lot of things which you have never experienced before? So how do you tackle fear? What's your motivation behind it?
Hanuman Chalisa helps. But to answer that on a serious note, I think there are moments wherein you become anxious. There are moments when fear creeps up. But I think the idea is to be in the now. What is fear if you think about it? And we analyze it because we are in this business. We are doing things that are inherently risky. So I've thought about this. So if you look at it, what is fear? Fear is something that has not yet happened. It is in the future, right? We worry about what will go wrong, what will happen, what if, that is what I am. And if you look at excitement, it is the same thing. It is in the future. What if it works out? What if it works out, better than what I have imagined? So I think we have the option of choosing. Whether you choose excitement, whether you choose fear, choose excitement and try to be in the now. What you can do right now, that is what. So come back to present. There is no fear, I think.
Yeah,
it just
next
goes
question.
away.
Mike, please. Beta, आगे लेके आओ इधर. Yeah, please ask. From there only. Yeah. Please ask.
How did your family react after you decided to choose a profession as risky as a fighter pilot or an astronaut?
So my parents didn't want me to join the Air Force and become a fighter pilot, first of all. So when I applied for my National Defense Academy exam, I did not tell them when I was filling the form. I filled it without telling them. I wrote the exam without telling them. They came to know when I got selected, and my friend came over to my house to tell ki you have been selected in the written. And when I was applying to be an astronaut, I did the same thing. I didn't tell them initially when I was applying. So मेरा ये कहना है आप सबसे बच्चों से, जब शैतानी करते हैं आप, जब लड़ाई करते हैं किसी से, आप किसी से पूछ के नहीं करते, है ना? You do it. चुपचाप की पता ना चले किसी को. ऐसी अच्छी चीज़ें भी बिना पूछे कर दीजिए. You take the courage, you take the first step. Everybody will understand later on that it is good for you. Thank you.
Yeah, please.
So what was the challenging part during your training? What is the challenging part?
So astronaut training inherently is challenging, but if you ask me one thing, I think survival training is the most challenging. Ki suppose your capsule comes and it splashes down somewhere very remotely. तो आप बिना किसी help के कैसे ocean में, you are in the middle of ocean somewhere, nowhere, nobody is there for helping you, and you have to stay there for days. How will you survive? How will you stay? I think that is a very challenging training for astronaut program. Thank you.
Yes, please.
Sir, my question is, if we observe a star from a terrace, it appears small. So those stars are really huge. So does the same phenomenon applies when you went out of Earth in space? So did the Earth also look small? And what are the differences between the views?
Fantastic question. Thank you. We are not very far from Earth. We are at an altitude of about 400 kilometers, right? और अर्थ का साइज क्या है 6,700 किलोमीटर्स रेडियस, यू नो, इट इज़ ह्यूज. सो वी आर नॉट वेरी फार. सो अर्थ बहुत बड़ी दिखती है, इट लुक्स वेरी बिग, and stars look very small, like how you see from Earth. The difference is when you see stars from Earth, how do they appear to you? They twinkle, right? Why do they twinkle? Because the light comes through the atmosphere, you know, because of refraction. There is no atmosphere in space, so the stars don't twinkle. They appear as white dots, you know, very bright dots. So they don't twinkle. That is the only difference. But otherwise, in terms of size, it is very similar. Thank you.
Yes, please. Yeah.
What did you do for
Louder.
What did you do for entertainment in the space?
Entertainment.
See, space वैसे ही बहुत fun है. It is a lot of fun, and you also don't have a lot of time. You are going for short duration mission, so you're very busy. But whenever we have time, we try to think of what can we do differently. You know, what we try on Earth, we do differently. One day we decided that we will play basketball in space, but we didn't have a ball. So what did we use? We used an astronaut. So you can throw people around, and because there is no weight and everybody is floating. So we come up with ways, we try to enjoy ourselves doing different things, but just sitting by looking outside the window is too much fun. You know, you don't have to do anything else. Thank you, beta.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir. My name is Vabhavi Shah. You once said that you believe if someone can do it, you can do it as well. How did this mindset influence your approach to astronaut training, and how can students like us adopt this?
So I think this has been my approach from very early on when I went to NDA. NDA training was the first very difficult thing that I started doing. And a lot of kids leave NDA in the first month. When they go, they leave NDA, they go back. And I also thought many times, you know, I should not be here, I should be going back. But this is what, you know, somehow it came to me that if the kid next to me is able to do it, then why can't I do it? And then gradually I built upon this, and now I feel that if anybody on Earth, on this planet can do it, then I can also do it. You know, we are similar than alike. They have the same capability, they have the same hands and legs and eyes and ears like me, so why not me? And I would like all of you also to believe that. Things may seem very difficult at first, but when you get into them, when you start doing them, you will always find a way. So first thing is belief. I can do it. Thank you.
Please.
Sir, actually, what was the most hardest time for you in this whole journey?
Where are you?
Sir.
That's it.
Yeah, sorry.
Sir, what was the most hardest time for you in this whole journey?
No hardest time. I enjoyed it a lot. It's a fantastic journey.
Yeah, please.
Jai Hind, sir. Sir, you have served in the Indian Air Force. You have been to space.
Loudly.
Jai Hind, sir. Sir, you have served in the Indian Air Force as well and have been to space. What are the 3 books that you would recommend us to read?
3 books I would recommend you to read. I like, have you heard about Ayn Rand? I like the book called The Fountainhead. No, maybe, you know, but I really, really love that book. I love the book by our ex-president, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, you know, his book, Wings of Fire, which is there. It is a good book. Read that. And I read very widely different, you know, separate books, but read stories. Read stories of people who have done things. Talk to people who have achieved certain things, like you have come today. Even your friends, families, everybody. Everybody is working very, very hard to cultivate this mindset, to just keep on sifting through things that you like, that you enjoy, and go over these things. And these days, you know, even if you don't want to finish a book, you are using your mobile. I was talking about it. This is the way to use your mobile. Find channels, find podcasts that you like, that you enjoy listening to, and go to them and listen to something every day. I think that is what is going to change the things in your mind. Will make you believe that you also can do such things and go forward. Thank you.
Namaskar, sir. Chaman Bhartiya Sirsa, Haryana. I am Chaman Bhartiya Sirsa, Haryana. सर 1982 में राकेश शर्मा जी अंतरिक्ष में गए थे, तो उन्होंने जब तत्कालीन प्रधानमंत्री स्वर्गीय श्रीमती इंदिरा गांधी जी ने पूछा था तुम्हें भारत कैसा लगता है? तो उन्होंने कहा था सारे जहाँ से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा। आप अपने बारे में उसके बारे में बताएं।
अब जैसा कि मैंने कहा, देखिए उससे अच्छी लाइन तो मेरे पास भी नहीं है बताने के लिए कि भारत कैसा दिखता है, लेकिन एज अ ट्रिब्यूट टू हिम जब हम लोग वापस आ रहे होते हैं स्पेस स्टेशन से तो हमारा एक इंटरेक्शन होता है जिसमें हम बात करते हैं। तो एज अ ट्रिब्यूट टू हमारे पहले एस्ट्रोनॉट विंग कमांडर राकेश शर्मा एंड एज अ ट्रिब्यूट टू इंडिया एज वेल, मैंने जो कहा था वो मैं आपको दोहरा सकता हूँ, मैं आपको बता सकता हूँ। मैंने कहा था कि 41 साल पहले ये सवाल पूछा गया था कि स्पेस से भारत कैसा दिखता है, और इन 41 सालों में भारत बहुत बदल गया है। हम 41 साल पहले वाला भारत नहीं है। आज का भारत कॉन्फिडेंट दिखता है, आज का भारत प्राउड दिखता है, आज का भारत केपेबल दिखता है, कॉम्पिटेंट दिखता है, ऑडेशियस दिखता है, और इन्हीं सब कारणों की वजह से भारत आज भी सारे जहाँ से अच्छा दिखता है। अच्छा, बाय द वे बिफोर वी मूव ऑन टू नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, चूंकि आपने उनका नाम लिया है तो आई डोंट नो हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू नो, बट आज 13th of January is the birthday of Wing Commander Rakesh Sharma.
Big round of applause.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Sir, my question is that if you were given the opportunity to be in our position, having the same opportunities and resources, facing the same challenges, then what would you do differently that would help us follow a similar path like that of yours?
Being in arts profession, you said.
So like to become an aeronautical engineer, to become a test pilot, to become a fighter pilot.
From which background you said? Sorry, first part I missed.
Sir, like if you were in our position right now, what would you be?
Our position right now. Okay, okay. See, I can tell you what I did. I appeared for NDA, went to the Air Force, and from there I graduated and moved on, you know, eventually becoming a test pilot and then being selected for the astronaut. From your position, like I said, you know, I will not tell you one particular path. That is not what is important. What is your name?
Harsh Menon. Harsh Menon.
Harsh. That is not what is important. Because what has worked for me may not work for you. It is a different path, different journey, different life. What I will ask you is, whatever you decide, whatever you want to do, you go ahead and do that. But do it with your full potential. Give it everything that you have. And once you have decided, don't doubt yourself. Don't think that it may happen, it may not happen. It will happen. That is what you have to believe, and you have to go into it with 100%, nothing less. That is all that you need to do. Thank you.
Please, young kid. Yeah.
जय हिंद सर, आपने स्पेस में जाके कौन सा सबसे इंडियन खाना मिस करा था?
जय हिंद बेटा, जय हिंद। मैंने बहुत इंडियन खाना बहुत मिस किया, और मुझे याद है कि जब तक वापस आने का टाइम हुआ था 18 दिन हो चुके थे, एंड व्हेन वी वर सपोज टू कम बैक, हमारे जो फ्लाइट सर्जन होते हैं, जो हमारे डॉक्टर होते हैं, मैंने उनको रिक्वेस्ट की स्पेस से। मैंने कहा कि जब आप मुझे मिलने आएंगे, मुझे रिसीव करने आएंगे जब मैं स्प्लैश डाउन होगा, तो प्लीज़ मेरे लिए कुछ नमकीन लेके आइएगा, ठीक है? क्योंकि सॉल्ट नहीं होता है स्पेस के खाने में, सोडियम कम होता है। सो यू फील दैट। तो हमारे जो इंडिया के फ्लाइट सर्जन जो गए थे, वो मेरे लिए ड्राई कचौड़ी और भाकरवाड़ी लेके आए थे जो मैंने बहुत बहुत इंजॉय करके खाई। थैंक यू बेटा।
या प्लीज।
गुड आफ्टरनून सर। सर, आपने बोला कि आप एक्सपेरिमेंट्स कंडक्ट कर रहे थे स्पेस में, तो आई वांटेड टू आस्क यू अबाउट वन एक्सपेरिमेंट कि अगर आप एक प्लांट को स्पेस में ग्रो करते हैं तो हाउ वुड इट ग्रो इन स्पेस?
इट ग्रोज इन अ सिमिलर वे। डिफरेंस इज कि चूँकि ग्रेविटी नहीं होती है तो उसकी जो ग्रोथ है वो बहुत रैपिड थी। इट वॉज वेरी फास्ट। वीट ग्रो हो रहा था मेरे टाइम पे, मैं ग्रो नहीं कर रहा था, बट हंगेरियन एस्ट्रोनॉट थे, उनका एक एक्सपेरिमेंट था जिसमें ही वॉज ट्राइंग टू ग्रो वीट, और उनको बॉक्सेस दिए गए थे वीट ग्रो करने के लिए कि 2 हफ्ते में शायद इतने बड़े हो जाएंगे पेड़, और वो बॉक्सेस उनको हटाने पड़े बिकॉज उनकी ग्रोथ बहुत फास्ट थी, बिकॉज देयर वाज नथिंग पुलिंग डाउन ऑन इट। सो इट इज़ डिफरेंट वेज, यू नो, बायोलॉजिकल प्रोसेस चेंज होते हैं, फास्ट हो जाते हैं, प्लांट्स की ग्रोथ बढ़ जाती है, अलग अलग तरीके से रिस्पॉन्ड करते हैं। बट दिस इज वन थिंग दैट आई कैन टेल यू विच आई सॉ, दैट इट वाज वेरी फास्ट एंड वेरी रैपिडली इट वाज ग्रोइंग वर्टिकली। थैंक यू।
Yes, last.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Nilambri Keswani.
Louder.
I'm Nilambri Keswani, and my question is, what was your experience in the ISS, and do you think India will excel in the space science in future, and where do you see ISRO 10 years from now?
My experience in ISS, I have already covered with you in this entire presentation, how it was. Hai na? To your second question, what do I feel if India will excel in space science? This is my question to you. What do you feel? Because finally, if India has to excel in space science, all of you have to work hard, right? All of you have to pursue science. So will you promise me that you will make India excel in space science?
Yes, sure.
Yes? So then you have your answer.
That's all. One question at a time. Yeah, please.
जय हिंद सर, मैं रुचिका गर्ग प्लेटिनम वैली इंटरनेशनल स्कूल से साइंस की टीचर। सच में आज का सेशन बहुत ही अमेजिंग था। जो साइंस हम बच्चों को पढ़ाते हैं, आज मैंने रियलिटी में आपने देखा कि कैसे पढ़ाना चाहिए। एक्चुअल में वो क्या है एग्जैक्टली?
सवाल मैम।
सवाल नहीं है, मैं एक कविता कहना चाहूंगी।
प्लीज मैम, नेक्स्ट।
अंतरिक्ष में शुभांशु चले तिरंगा संग लहराया, अंतरिक्ष में शुभांशु चले तिरंगा संग लहराया, भारत का गौरव बढ़ा, विश्व में नाम कमाया, अंधेरे में रोशनी बन नई राह दिखाते हैं, हर जय हिंद के नारे के संग हर सपना सच कर जाते हैं। थैंक यू सो मच।
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Tavgun Kaur Sahi, and I have a question to you, sir. So, who did you miss most when you were in space?
very tricky questions. Very smart kids. No, I missed. शुरुआत में जब आप जाते हैं तो आप बहुत busy हो जाते हैं. But शुरुआत में जब आप जाते हैं तो you become very busy. You are doing a lot of science experiments and everything. But जब time मिलता है and when you look back, the site is so beautiful. It is so different and it is so unique that you want to share it with everyone that you love. जो आपके फैमिली हैं, जो आपके फ्रेंड्स हैं, आप उनको दिखाना चाहते हैं और आप दिखा नहीं सकते। मैंने मतलब बात हुई हमारी वीडियो पे एक दो बार, बट आई वुड हैव प्रेफर्ड कि वो देख सके ये जो मैं देख पा रहा हूँ। सो यू डू मिस योर क्लोज्ड वंस, यू डू मिस योर फ्रेंड्स, यू डू मिस योर फैमिलीज, बट मोस्ट ऑफ ऑल आई वुड से दैट आई मिस्ड माई सन एंड माई वाइफ व्हेन आई वाज देयर अप इन स्टेज।
लाउडर।
हेलो, जय हिंद सर।
लाउडर।
जय हिंद सर। सर माय क्वेश्चन इज इट लगता है आपको कि मार्स पे लाइफ संभव हो सकती है ह्यूमंस की? इज इट पॉसिबल इन अ लॉन्गर रन?
Possible, yes. Probable, yes. But possibility, how to make it happen, and eventually when it will be done, artificially create कर सकते हैं अभी, you know, with what we have, what we know today, and how we are working right now. But I think it is way into the future. मतलब अभी it will take us a lot of time to get there and start working on that problem.
एंड सर, मार्स ऑर्बिटर मिशन जो इंडिया ने लॉन्च किया था, उसका सेकंड वर्जन आपको लगता है अभी लॉन्च होने वाला है?
100% लॉन्च होगा, क्यों नहीं? We are going to do a lot of scientific missions. We are going to Mars, we are going to Venus, we are going to Moon. We will do a lot of science missions, and that is what all these kids are going to work on, you know, in the future.
गुड आफ्टरनून सर, मेरा नाम रियांश है, एंड माय क्वेश्चन इज व्हाट इज वन मिस्टेक दैट यू मेड बट later it turned out to be very helpful?
I think I have made a lot of mistakes, you know, from school till the time I joined NDA and then in flying and then eventually. But I think mistakes are very, very important. They are very important part of your journey. You have to make mistakes. You know, if you make a mistake, you will learn. And then you will start doing that thing right, correct? Now, once you have done something right, if you keep repeating that thing, you will always be right. You will not make a mistake. But when you try something new, what will happen? You will make a mistake. So, you have to make mistakes by trying out new things, as many mistakes as possible. But the idea should be learning from them and moving on to the next step. So, your success is dependent on how many mistakes you make in life. So, make as many mistakes as you can. Thank you.
Yeah, please.
Good afternoon, sir. Myself Yatharth, and I am pleased to ask this question: that what were the ordeals that you faced in ISS, and how did you keep your mind calm and composed?
What was the
ordeals?
Okay.
Difficulty.
It is challenging. I have told you the environment is challenging. It is a difficult place to be to perform science experiment. There is a huge team that is there to support you, but you have to. The training that we do prepares you for these missions, you know, and I think that is what helped me to keep my mind calm, focus on the job task that was at hand, and just do that in the moment. Thank you.
Jai Hind sir, my name is Myra and I have a question to ask you. When in 2019 you first heard that you were going to go as an astronaut, how did you feel? What did you think you will experience?
Actually, I did not hear in 2019 that I will be going as an astronaut. 2019, what I heard was that I have been selected as one of the 4 astronaut candidates for India's Gaganyaan mission. When I heard first time that I will be going as the main candidate for being the mission pilot for Axiom 4 mission was in July 2024. 4 days before I was supposed to leave for US. That was the time that I got this news that I am going to be the one who is going to go. And I was, what can I say? I was very happy. I tried to soak it in. I was driving actually at that time when I got the news. So I stopped my car on the side, came out, took a pause, looked up, thank God, and then continued my driving. That is what I did. Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, my name is Adya. My question is, what one habit should student develop from young age to succeed in space science?
Not just space science, beta. I think to succeed in anything that you want to do, I think I have already said you have to be very resilient, come back from whatever failure, whatever success you have achieved. And the second thing is be very disciplined. You have to be disciplined.
Okay, sir.
Today you feel like doing it, you will do it. Tomorrow you don't feel like doing it, you still do it. That is what is discipline. And so you have to be very disciplined in whatever you do. That
Thank you,
will
sir.
take you very long in life.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Lavanya, and my question to you is, in space, what mattered more, knowing the right answer or staying calm without the right answer?
I think knowing the right answer is not the most important thing to know. And there is a very famous saying, and when NASA does its selection for astronauts, and even now when we are doing it, we are following the same philosophy. When we do the selection, there is a saying that it is not important if you can score 100 out of 100 in a motion control exam, but it is important how you think, how you figure out, how you work in a team. So I think the skill of finding out answers is more important than knowing the answers in the first place. No, learning how to think is more important than what to think. If you understand what I'm saying. That is a more important skill to develop. Thank you.
Yeah, please.
Hello, sir. Myself Mohit Kumar, son of Warrant Officer Prasad. So my question is how micro-pipetting is different from the pipetting from the Earth one, and how space food is different from the food from Earth we get.
My pipetting, I have done pipetting on ground also.
Yes, sir.
I am, I've been working on my thesis. As I told you, I'm doing my master's from ISC. So my work involves working with bacteria, and pipetting is a task that I do. Pipetting in space is much harder. It is not easy. It has to be very delicately done. And especially the separation of air bubbles in the liquid when you're sampling, that becomes a huge challenge because it doesn't come up or down on itself. So you have to become a centrifuge and you have to turn round and round and separate them, and then you can do this. So it has its own challenges, but it's a very acquired skill, I would say.
Yeah, last question. Nand.
Jai Hind, sir. Jai Hind, sir. So, how did you gain all the motivation from throughout your career?
There were a lot of people, a lot of great examples in front of me, who motivated me, who inspired me. And looking at them, listening to them, getting inspired by what they were doing. I think every step there is someone to guide you if you are ready to look at it. So that has been my answer. I have had great people to guide me throughout my journey. Thank you.
Yeah, please.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm from Tagore International School, east of Kailash. Sir, I have two small questions. Were you inspired to become an astronaut in your school/college or your first job? And what would you suggest us middle schoolers to chase our dreams?
I never thought I'll be an astronaut. I never dreamed I will be an astronaut. I never thought I could be one because there was not a program. But I did want to be a fighter pilot. And that is what I pursued. And I went and I became one. And I really enjoyed my life and my career as a fighter pilot. It was a dream job for me. But when the opportunity came, because I did not think that we can be astronauts in India. But when the opportunity came, I readily said yes. And to you, I wouldn't like you to change your dreams or say something, but I would like to tell you one thing. Life will give you opportunities. It will give you hints. It will give you, indications by presenting to you certain opportunities. Say yes. That is what I will tell you. Say yes. Don't try to evaluate sitting in your drawing room in the comfort of your sofa whether it will work out or not work out. You don't know. Nobody knows. Say yes, figure it out. Don't like it, leave it, do something else. But say yes and try out as many new things as you want, as you can. Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Chirag Reja, and my question is.
पास
what
से
does-
बोलो.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Chirag Reja, and my question is, what does success mean to you personally?
What is success?
What does success mean to you personally?
Success mean to me personally? I think if you are happy with what you are doing and you are enjoying what you are doing, that is the biggest success that you can have. That is all that you need. And I am very happy doing what I am doing right now, talking to you, telling you what success means to me. So this is success, what success looks like to me. Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Advait Sharma from TPS Vasant Kunj. Can you share that one tough moment from your life where perseverance kept you going?
There has not been one, I would say. There have been a lot. And there are moments when you feel like giving up, when you feel like saying enough is enough, I don't need to do this. Because there have been moments wherein I had the option of, you know, when you start flying in the Air Force, you have to learn a lot of, you have to do a lot of training. But there comes a stage wherein you become comfortable, you have all the qualifications that you can get. And from that point of time, you don't have to appear for any exams or anything, and life is comfortable, very comfortable. I was there, I had already done that. But then, you know, you feel like, should we do more or should we not? And it's a choice. So I think there have been a lot of moments wherein I have felt like giving up, not doing things, not pursuing things. But like I said, I enjoy this. I enjoy learning new things. And there is a great saying in astronaut training. The astronaut training is essentially, if you compress everything to one sentence, the training is to make you comfortable in being uncomfortable. That is what the training is. So if you start enjoying this process of, you know, learning, being uncomfortable, being in new situations, and being, you know, vulnerable, I think that is what will be the path for you to grow. Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Vanya, and I'm a student of Tagore International School, east of Kailash. And my question to you is, how do you think we can reconcile the immense investments that countries all over the world are making in space exploration while we are tackling concerning issues like global and climate change on Earth?
That's a great question. I think climate change is not a recent phenomena. It is happening, you know, over centuries. It has been happening always. It has accelerated post-industrialization, but it has always been happening. But what happened, when did we come to know about climate change? You know, when the satellites went up and they gave us data, irrefutable data, that is when the world realized that it is real, it is happening. You know, investment in space and tackling climate change are not separate problems. You know, one can be used for the other, and it is being used. A lot of ways satellites and space exploration is helping us to understand how to tackle this climate change problem. That is the technical side of it. The more subjective side, I would say, is when I went for my mission, I went with people from Poland and Hungary and US, right? All very different regions. The three of them did not know a lot about India. Unko nahi pata tha. I did not know about Hungary, I did not know about Poland, about US also, but partially. And when you start talking, when you start exchanging ideas, they understand, they realize. And that is when you try to think to come up for solutions for the rest of the world, not just for us, and tackle this problem as a whole. And like I said, you know, when you go out, when you look at Earth, you realize this is your home. It is not Delhi, it is not Lucknow, it is not India. So when you look at Earth as your home, there is a feeling to protect it, to preserve it. That is a very, very strong feeling, which is what we are trying to disseminate. So I think space exploration and tackling real world problems, they are not separate questions to be answered. They are answered together, and they can work together to, you know, help each other find a solution. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir. How does it feel when you are in a capsule and coming down, then suddenly splash in the ocean?
When the splashdown happens, it feels as if somebody has hit you in the back with a big bat. That is how it feels. Very big bat. Very loud impact happens. Very loud noise happens. But suddenly you feel, you are on water and then you are moving with the waves. Thank you.
Hello, sir. I'm Devu Pratim. So I am a civil service aspirant. Along with that, I am an aviation enthusiast. So I have one question, basically two questions. One that is, ki in your pilot career life and as an astronaut, how much G's you have pulled off? Like as a fighter pilot, how much G's you have pulled off? And as an astronaut, how much G's you have pulled off, basically?
So during flying, in my profession as a fighter pilot, I have pulled up to 10 G. I've gone up to 10 Gs. Our training happens, which makes us, undergo 9 G, 30 seconds. But I've gone up to, almost 10 G I've pulled. In the astronaut training, we train up to 8 Gs for 30 seconds, but we don't go beyond that because higher Gs are only required during contingency, if something goes wrong. And that would be a one-time affair. So you don't subject your body to excessive Gs more than 8 Gs. So 10 G in fighter pilot and 8 G in space flight.
Yes, please.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is
पास से
Manvi.
बोलिए बेटा.
Good afternoon, sir. Were you ever suggested not to become an astronaut because it is a dangerous occupation? If yes, were you influenced by it?
I have been suggested a lot many times by a lot of people. But to your second part of your question, if yes, have you been affected by it or not affected by it? What do you feel? Was I affected by it?
No.
So I was not affected by it, but a lot of people have told me, yes, to not pursue it.
Good afternoon, sir. Rabani Seth from Delhi Public School, Vasant Kunj. If the next 25 years are to propel India into a glorious future, what qualities must today's students contribute to this noble nation?
Thank you. First of all, I think that's a fantastic question. It's a great question. And that is a question that all of us need to answer, If we want India to go where we talk about Viksit Bharat 2047, we are talking about developed nation 2047. Imagine what will be your age when 2047 will come. You are the people who are going to make it happen. So first thing that I would like to say is you have to believe. You have to believe that we can do it. And anything that you do, you have to dream so big. Keep it so big that you yourself are uncomfortable with that idea. That is the first step. You have to believe that it can happen and I can make it happen. That is the first step that we have to do. And the second thing is follow it up with discipline and hard work. One day at a time is not a lot. You just do your job today. Don't think about 20 years down the line. Every day you do it and we will reach there. So that's a great question and I hope that you will follow it up by hard work and dreaming big. Thank you.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon. My name is Rehan.
Louder, beta.
My name's Rehan, and you said that you were in the space station for about 20 days. Have you explored all of it, or is there any part that you still wish that you had explored?
No, inside the space station, I have explored every part of it. I know where all the things are, every place I know. But one part that I could not do was the EVA, the extravehicular activity, spacewalk, that we did not do as a part of this mission. And that is the next thing that I'm looking forward to. Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Amira Khukshal.
Louder, beta,
My
pass se.
question is, did you ever see anything unexpected?
Yes, actually, yes. So I was sleeping in Crew Dragon, the capsule that we went in. And Crew Dragon has windows, 2 windows. So I was the only one, in the entire crew who had windows in my sleeping quarters. I had windows. And one day I was sitting next to the window in Crew Dragon and I saw a light which was very close to the station. And it was coming closer. And I was surprised, what is it, what it can be. And, we know that there are objects in space, there are satellites in space, but it was a very odd shape and it was a very big light. So, no, don't worry, there was no aliens. There were no alien spaceship which was there. It was a satellite, a big satellite, which was below our orbit. So the higher you go, the slower you move. So it was below us, so it was moving faster than us. So it was coming closer and closer and closer, and that is why I got taken by surprise. But it was a satellite that was moving, so I was surprised by this one thing. Thank you.
Next.
Good afternoon, sir. सर हम सब के अकॉर्डिंग आप हमारे सुपर हीरो हो, लेकिन आपके अकॉर्डिंग आपका सुपर हीरो कौन था जिससे आप इंस्पायर्ड हुए?
मैं बहुत लोगों से इंस्पायर हुआ हूँ. हमारे पहले एस्ट्रोनॉट विंग कमांडर राकेश शर्मा जो गए स्पेस में, he took India with him to space in 1984. फिर बहुत सारे हमारे मिलिट्री के लीडर्स हैं जो जिनके साथ मैंने फ्लाइंग की, मैं उनसे भी इंस्पायर हुआ. But if you ask me today, I think my superhero are you guys. You know, you have to take India to the future that we are imagining. So you are our superheroes, and you have to believe like that you are the superhero that will take India to being a developed nation by 2047. Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Rishiraj Singh of DPS Vasant Kunj. I have two questions. The first question is that how do you believe that the Dyson sphere could be the next space for humans to become an interplanetary species? Like, what is the best planet for the construction of this mega structure? And my second question is that rockets using a lot of fuel cause carbon dioxide pollution. What is the permanent and the most effective way after booster rockets?
Thank you so much. First of all, I can make out that you are a geek in this area. You know a lot about what you are asking. Dyson sphere, it is a concept, theoretical concept that we have. I don't think that we have thought of putting it on some other planet. We are thinking of putting it around Earth as a bigger sphere, which will harness the energy of sun. Constellation, huge constellation. And it is a concept, theoretical concept that is there. Let us see. In a way, Dyson sphere is already being formed, if you look at it. The sheer number of satellites that we have around Earth today, it is a lot. Starlink is eventually planning 35,000 satellites. China is also planning a constellation of 13,000 satellites. A lot of satellites. So in a way, we already have the sphere around us, but we are not harnessing sun's energy for that. So let us see how this concept evolves and where it takes us in future. And yes, there are alternate propulsion that we are already looking at. The problem is gravity. We do not have a powerful enough fuel source against conventional as of now, but we are trying to work on it. There are companies like Spin Launch, which are, spinning at a very rapid rate and launching objects up in sky and then using fuel for a very short period of time. So people are thinking of this concept, but all are theoretical as of now. We have not established anything. So hopefully you will find a solution for us one day. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir.
Pass se beta.
My name is Dia Gulati from DPS Vasant Kunj. Throughout your life, you've worn many uniforms, from being a student to being in the Indian Armed Forces and then finally going on to the ISS. So what do you think each one of them has taught you?
Every step teaches you something, and I think every day teaches you who you are today. You will not be the same person tomorrow. Everything changes you. And I think that is what the attempt should be. With evolving with each step, learning from each direction. My NDA training, my Air Force career has taught me a lot. Discipline, motivation, and resilience. It has taught me a lot of things, build my character to help me do what I could do eventually, when I did the astronaut training. But the difference was when I got into the astronaut training, the Air Force prepares you to be a leader, very good leader. And when you get to in astronaut training, you also have to learn to be a follower. So I think that was a transition. So at every step you learn something new, and I think we should absorb as much as we can and try to be a better person or better version of ourselves every next day. Thank you.
Yes.
Well, good afternoon, sir.
Pass se bolo beta.
My name is Adam. I'm from APJ School, Saket. And I want to ask you that we all know astronauts require a lot of skills, technically, practically while they work. But mentally, how does it feel? Like, what is the effect of the entire thing on an astronaut mentally, and how does he or she handle that entire effect in them?
I think, training prepares you. It is a very different environment, different conditions that you are operating in. But I also believe that the human body is phenomenal. The human mind is phenomenal. It can adapt. It can adapt to any situation, any challenge that life has to throw at you. I was telling you during my talk, if you convince your mind, everything is possible. You can achieve everything. And that is how it starts. So you have to believe, and you have to be ready to go through the difficult times. Today, what seems difficult to you, if you keep doing it 1 week down the line, you'll find it easy. So you have to push through the first week. That's all that is required. I think for any condition, any situation in life. That is how I deal with it, and I think it has helped me a lot. Thank you.
Yes, please.
Jain sir, I'm Manvi Mishra from Platinum Valley International School, and my question is that what is one misconception that people have about astronauts that you would like to break or prove wrong?
One misconception. Actually, you know what? It is very interesting question that you've asked me. Every question that I have got from kids ever since I've come back from my mission, all of them have been point on. No misconception. All of them have been conceptions which I have verified. So interesting you asked that. I have not come across questions, especially from kids. They know much more than what I would have expected them to be. I don't know what any misconception that you think you have. I have not come across any. Thank you.
Next.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm from Platinum Valley International School. I want to ask the question that what would you like to do in your free time?
In my free time, I like sports. I like to play. So if I get some free time, I like to go out and play some sport. I also like to read. So if I get time, I like to read. And these days, since it has become so busy, whatever free time I have, I like to spend it with my family, my son and my wife, because I don't get a lot of time. So these are the things that I do. Thank you.
Yeah, please, quickly.
Sir, you mentioned, sorry sir, good afternoon sir, I'm Ayan Chawla from DPS Vasant Kunj. You mentioned your astronaut training took you from the Yuri Gagarin Center in Russia to the NASA Center in Houston. So do you have a fond memory from your entire training journey, and what did you learn from it?
I think everything, I remember my entire training period very fondly. I think it was exceptional. First of all, it was teaching me something I didn't know. I was learning so much. And then the people who were there, they were so fantastic. They were so amazing that they have left a lasting memory on me. But the biggest thing that I learned, that we were coming from so different cultures all over the world, from different countries, different places. But everybody comes together and bonds together so well that I've realized one thing, that, wherever you are from in this world, we are more alike than what we would like to believe. We are very similar people. We just create pretensions based on our cultures and regions that we are coming from. But once you break through that, we are all same people. So that is what I've learned from my entire training. Thank you.
A very good afternoon, Group Captain Shukla. This is Ila Upadhyay, Principal Army Goodwill Public School, Pahalgam. I just request if you can share one strength, one forte of yours with my students of AGPS Pahalgam.
Sorry, ma'am?
One strength of yours. Which
One
you can
strength?
Yes.
I think I have the ability to look at the larger picture, and keep working towards it. So I am not taken aback by or, disappointed by short-term failures. Even if something doesn't work out today, yes, it does affect me. I will not say it doesn't affect me. I feel bad about it, but I would feel bad about it for a day. And then I will get back and I will try to find a new way to achieve what I want to achieve, but I don't give up. So what I'm trying to tell you, or what I'm preaching, I believe in it. I believe in never giving up and always trying to find a solution to what you want to do. I would say that is what my strength is. Thank you.
Yeah, please.
Sir, I'm from DPS Vasant
पास से बोलिए
Kunj.
बेटा.
Sir, I'm from DPS Vasant Kunj. My name is Agastya. Sir, what did you feel while going to space? And sir, what do you consider yourself in the world?
What did I feel while going to space? I was very excited. I told you, launch was so fascinating that it was extremely powerful roller coaster, I would say. It was absolutely wonderful to be in the launch, I would say. And the second question I didn't get you. You said, what do I think I mean in the world?
Sir, I said, what do you think of yourself in the world? Do you think of yourself as a drop in an ocean, or do you think of yourself as very important?
Actually, I don't think at all on this aspect. I don't worry about it. Why do you have to think about it? You just enjoy what you're doing. You just be happy. That is all that is required. You don't have to worry about all these things. Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, I am Adya from DPS Vasant Kunj. I want to ask you that what will happen if we burn kerosene in the space? Will it turn into a ball or what?
Yeah, so I told you, when you burn something in space, it doesn't burn like a flame. We have flame on Earth because of gravity. It takes a shape. In space, when you burn things, they burn like a ball, like a sphere. So that is the shape it gets. And there have been experiments that have been conducted to, videos and all to demonstrate that. But it's a very different sight to watch. Thank you.
Namaste, sir. I am Mishita. I'm Mishita. My question to you is that what would you like to experience on the grounds of India that you have experienced in space that is made out of technology that is developed in India?
I think I would like to see everything that we are trying to pursue right now. I would like to see all of you help India make its own space station. A space station that is so modern, so futuristic, that everybody from the world wants to come and be a part of it. That is what I would like to see. And I am sure you will help me make it. Thank you.
Good afternoon, very good afternoon, sir. I'm Ayana Goyal from DPS Vasant Kunj. Sir, I would like to ask you, sir, you were an Air Force officer. So, sir, what made you think that I should become an astronaut? And, sir, secondly, I would like to ask you that, sir, what problems did you occur after you came from space?
So to the first question, I think it was 15th August 2018 when our Honorable Prime Minister announced from Red Fort that very soon a son or daughter of India will fly to space. And in 2019, when I was serving as a test pilot, we got a signal that they are looking for applications for people to be astronauts. And like I said, as my tendency has been, when I saw that signal, without any other thought that could come to my mind, I filled the form, I signed it, and I submitted it. So I said yes before I could sit down and think about it. So I did not pay any specific thought to it, of becoming an astronaut. I just said yes when I saw the opportunity. And the second thing is there are difficulties, challenges when you come back to Earth because you have to adapt again. And your muscles are weakened, you are not able to walk, you have conditioning has to happen, your balance system has to come back. So all of that takes time. It took me about a week to come back to normal. Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. I am Purvi from East Point School. So my question to you is, do you think humanity goes to space to escape Earth's problem or finally to understand them?
I think it is the latter. I think we go to space to understand them. And like I said, when you go to space, what you are trying to do is create life in an environment where it should not exist. And when you try to do that, you find solutions to problems on Earth that you didn't even know was possible. So it gives you very different insights, very different perspective. And that you can apply to real world problems that we have here on Earth. Thank you.
Jai Hind, sir, and good afternoon. So what's the best part which you saw in space and you want everyone to see it?
As I said, first of all, everybody should be in space to just have that perspective and look back at Earth. But if there is one thing, only one thing that you can see, you should go to space and look at India from space at night. That is the most beautiful sight you'll ever see. Thank you.
So you want question, you want photograph and autographs. So no, what one? We committed to show you the video. We'll show you the video. हमारा देश कैसा दिखता है? And we'll take last 3 questions. Okay, please.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Arnavi from East Point School. We have talked a lot about your space missions and everything. But as we remember that you were an Air Force pilot too, and that is a very, a nice position in the Air Force. And how did you achieve that? What were the problems in the Air Force? And how can we aim to get into it?
So I have one observation, to all the kids who are sitting there. All the questions that you have been asking, a lot of you, you start your question with what were the problems. My question to you is, why do you focus so much on the problems? Why are you searching for problems? There are no problems. You just try to understand. Even when I got into the Air Force, everything that happens to you, which you have to do your training, you have to learn new things, it is an opportunity. So whatever is happening right now, when something is being done, let's say you have to appear for an exam or you have to prepare for something, that is an opportunity for you to learn. How well you will do it, how not well you will do it, it doesn't matter. Just enjoy the process of learning for that thing that you are doing right now. So this is what I did. When I got into flying, I really enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was in love with flying all my life. I still miss it. So I think that is why I never felt that it was ever a problem for me to do things. I have enjoyed my entire journey. I think it was a dream job. And that is what got me from where I wanted to be eventually. Thank you so much.
So next, yeah.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Pranay Shankar from DPS Vasantkunj. Sir, when you were in school, were you a troublemaker or were you very disciplined and studious?
I was not. I wouldn't say. I don't think it would be fair for me to answer this question. In our mind, we are the best always. So I don't think I was a troublemaker. I think I was a very shy kid, and eventually things changed. But in school, if you ask me, all my friends and all my teachers would say that I was very reserved and very shy kind of a kid in school. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Shubhanshu sir. I'm Aditya from Delhi Public School, Vasant Kunj. Would you rather stay an astronaut scientist or be a lead head at ISRO in space research?
Or be a?
Lead head at ISRO in space research.
I don't think I have any such thought of being an astronaut scientist or being a lead head. I am enjoying what I am doing right now, and I would like to see India achieve its target of doing the Gaganyaan mission, doing the Bharatiya Antariksh Station, and going to the moon. And that is what I have taken it upon myself, is my responsibility to make it happen. So in any capacity that I can help achieve that, I would be happy to do that. Thank you.
Before we have the video, देश के बारे में सारे जहाँ से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा कैसा दिखता है ऊपर से. I want to tell you two things. One, all those who want photograph can come in a queue here, in a group of 8 each. Listen to me.
Wait. You have to see the video first. Wait.
It will not happen like this. Don't worry. Watch the video. Then we will give you an announcement. Every one of you will get an autograph bookmark for your reading. Right?
Okay. Oh, it is too bright. Okay, can you see this? Hey, too bright. I don't know if you can see this, but this is what India looks like. And that is Bangalore city. That is Hyderabad and Pune. And these flashes that you see, these are the lightning that is happening from space. And you'll see sunrise in some time. Yeah, that is the sunrise. Thank you.
Big round of applause.